Okay. Hello. So welcome. This is the project, as you could clearly see. So I'm working on episode 10 of Call of Duty. You guys won't be seeing this until June, which is absolutely crazy. How ahead I am in videos. Anyway, so you guys won't be seeing this until June, but you guys get to see a little bit of a sneak peek in kind of how I make these episodes. I'm not gonna spoil the entire episode. Probably just gonna be a quick stream on how I handle one clip, and just so you don't spoil the entire episode of how this entire thing works. So as you can see right now, my favorite part when I'm editing these videos is I like to use a skimmer across the timeline to take a look at how the project, at what point in what video can I see some things. So as you probably noticed while watching the physical episodes that I look at deaths and kills and stuff, and basically I just take a look at important moments throughout games, and this is what contributes for that. Skim across the entire timeline, just looking for stuff like that. So let's familiarize ourselves with Final Cut Pro quickly. Here is the timeline right here. As you can see with my mouse skimming across the timeline right here. Here's where all you put in all your clips and all your information, your voiceovers and stuff. This is a nice area right here. Here you have your project stuff, so you can check where your project is and stuff like that, and switch between projects if you have different projects. Over here is where you put titles and generators. Titles being text and stuff, generators being backgrounds and numbers and stuff like that. I like using these. I also like using the titles. They could be very super useful. Here you can use your import photos and iTunes and stuff like that. So over here you might be seeing the library properties. The library properties just shows you information they could do, so you could change the rotation of a video like this, flip it upside down, flip it right side up, flip it whatever ways, and set that back to 0. You can change the position. Let's change this to -10, and as you can see, it moves the video. Let's change this to -500, not 1500. There you go. So that basically changes the position of the video. Scale, of course, zooms in and out. 0, of course, does nothing. Default, it's at 100, and scale XY is X, and of course Y. So there you go. So once again, set at 100. So there you go. Anchoring, shouldn't really worry about. Cropping is if you want to crop the video like that. So let's just press done. There you go. I'm going to do that crop though. And there we go. So stabilization, if you want to stabilize the video. I don't really use all this other stuff. I mainly just use transform, sometimes blend mode, and crop. Over here, you can adjust the audio levels. As you can see, I have the audio all the way down to do an appropriate language in the clip. And here's information about your project. This is a 1920 by 1080, 60 frames per second. Of course, that's 59.94, but 60 frames per second video. So there we go. So let's continue by starting up. So I already kind of started recording this. I kind of started already, working on this, but we could continue and go ahead and do stuff. Here we go. So let's see. Okay, we are live. Everyone's watching. Everything's great. Okay, cool. So let's continue here. So, all right. So we're going to start by skimming across the project timeline. I always automatically press B, which is the blade tool, which can cut clips down if you ever need it. So I instantly just skim across, look for things that are highly important. There we go. Here's the kill that I get, right? Okay, so let's stop right here, and then we're going to go ahead. So over here is a kill. Boom, kill. Okay. So we're going to stop right there. So I cut twice, so you can cut the clip within that kill. And then, of course, again, continue on and go through. And there you go. Here's another one. So we're just going to go right here, cut, and go over here and cut to the end. Then you're going to remove the little clips in between. Sometimes I make a mistake and I forget to delete those clips in between, which sucks, and I apologize for that because sometimes some of these are really small and I can't see them or I forget about them. Anyway, continuing on. Most of the time, though, I am able to remove them. So, yeah. So, over there, I was shooting at a panda, as you can see. This is pretty interesting. By the way, you can play the timeline and look at the clips. So, there you go. You could see what I'm doing right there. But we're just going to continue by skimming across the timeline. And, oh, here's a nice, wonderful kill right there. So I steady nice and easy, and I get a kill. That was a hard scope. I'm not good at Call of Duty. You probably noticed out this series. So here we go. Continue on editing episode 10 here. So I'm going to actually just do this entire part 1, and then you guys could see how one match goes, and how I edit one entire full match and cut it all down. So right now we're at 2 minutes for this clip, and I'm going to continue skimming through. And as you can see, I'm just looking for anything that is of importance. So I don't skim too fast because then you miss a lot, but I don't skim too slow either, so you don't go frame by frame, but at least you go fast paced enough so you at least get something and you can actually see what's going on. So here we go. We can go cut right here, and after the kill we can cut, and then right here when I get another kill we can cut, and then I die, we can cut right there. So if I didn't notice that there was that, I could have just kept that, but hey, we could record some voiceover. So I'm actually going to mute my mic for this because I don't know if OBS will mess up with the entire recording of the voiceover. So I'm actually going to mute my mic in OBS so you guys don't have to hear me with that. So give me just a second here. I'll be right back after I record the voiceover. So you'll see the little voiceover window and everything. Just be aware that I'm doing a voiceover. Okay, so when I'm done from a clip, once the clip is finished recording, I usually go ahead and cut so at the appropriate place when the voiceover stops, so that I don't have to mash up voiceovers together, and that way it's a lot easier to edit these things. So, you know, it really depends on which episode it take and how long it takes to edit these. Sometimes it could take 2 hours. Sometimes it could take even more. It really just depends on what episode and other factors. But in this case, this shouldn't take that long, I hope, to do, because I want to move on, continue editing this episode. So right now we're at 8 minutes on the stream. Hope you guys are enjoying right now. Let us continue taking a look at how I edit this clip. Here we go. Going down the stairs over here. Okay, nothing interesting. So we continue skimming ahead a little bit. See a guy right there. I'm dead. Okay, so we move a little bit back, and I'm die. So then I cut right there and delete all of that because it's not important. So there's not a lot of clips that makes it in to the physical video. There's, as you can see, a lot of boring parts that just get cut out of just me walking around. And I know some people like to actually sit through a full match, which is why recently I've just been including just matches and stuff for people that like them, that like that kind of stuff. So that's why I include full matches for the people that, you know, actually like that kind of stuff. But in most cases, I will usually cut down the clip so that I don't have to deal with all of that. All right, so we're going to continue for in a second here. I'm just checking out the stream here, how it's going. Okay, so we seem to be doing great. All right, let's continue. And I'm going to quickly share this stream to Twitter about my editing. And here we go. So I'm going to go tweet that out, and then we're going to go ahead and I'm going to continue the stream. So here we go. All right, let's continue. So we're going to continue with our clips here. So as you can see, like I usually do, I just skim through this and I just continue on and, just skim across and do and see what's going on. Okay, there we go. So there's another kill right there. So you can go ahead, cut right there, boom, done. Now you might be asking yourself, well, Rek, isn't this boring? Just sitting here, just looking at all these clips, looking at what time to do this stuff. And the truth is, it really depends. Some of this could be actually pretty fun. I personally like it at times, unless I get really frustrated. In this case, I enjoy it, and actually talking over what I'm doing is actually making a little bit better experience. But sometimes I could see how people could find this a very boring thing, because sometimes it can get pretty boring. I mainly do this for fun though, and it really depends on what kind of creator you are and how much you're gonna have to use all the features that this specific program has to offer. Before I use iMovie, that works great. That comes with every single Mac that you buy. But I just need a little bit more stuff. That's why I got Final Cut Pro. Final Cut Pro is jam-packed with a bunch of features, so it's really easy to use and everything like that. Anyway, continuing on here. So I'm just giving up a few information for everyone that wants it and wants to know a little bit about, kind of how to edit and stuff. In this case, if you have a Mac, this is probably a really good recommendation if you plan on editing a lot. You could use iMovie. iMovie could work great. I've used it before. I've used it for multiple videos back then, and it works great. I just prefer Final Cut Pro a lot better. Anyway, continuing on with the editing process here, as you can see, we just skim across, no big deal, and we just look to see, oh, there's a kill. So we're going to go ahead right here. Boom, we got a kill. We can continue. All right, remove that entire clip. So we're only at 1 minute and 13 seconds into this video, which is crazy considering how much, kills and stuff we've already captured. But of course, we're not even done with the entire game left. There's still about 4 minutes left of gameplay that we can go through before reaching the end of the clip. So I could make a pretty good stream, I would say. Not a very long stream at all, but compared to other streams that are like at least an hour long. But here we go. We could at least have some nice normal stream if people wanted to ever know how things work when it comes to editing. So continuing on over here, we have our sniper, as you can see, and I try and go ahead, look around, and I think there's a kill right there. I die, so we're gonna go right here, and when I die, we're just gonna cut right there. Okay, so we're gonna remove that, and boom, there we go. So now we got a clip of me dying, and I accidentally press that all the time. That basically removes the clip without actually removing the clip. So if you ever want to test how it looks without the clip, without actually removing it, just in case you want to add it back without having to undo it all, I undo it because I keep forgetting what button I press. But keyboard shortcuts are really, really useful for a program like this. Stuff like Command Z and which is undo, Command Qs, of course, and exiting Mac. If in general Mac, it's just really good to use keyboard shortcuts. Windows, you don't really have to use keyboard shortcuts. I just do on Mac because everything's a lot simpler to do, even on this program when you do keyboard shortcuts. So, let me take a quick drink of water here. I've been talking a lot, so. Alright, so there we go. So that's pretty good. Okay, we're at 14 minutes right now. 15 minutes into the stream. Here we go. That's about an average video of mine right there on the stream. And we're just talking about editing, which is crazy. Okay. So, once again, continuing on, I died, I respawn, there's a guy right there, try to get him, but I die. So, there we go, and boom. So, voiceovers is something I don't really do a lot in these. Voiceover is kind of like the thing that it's like, oh, you guys just want to see multiple clips. Voiceover isn't really much that I've been doing on these clips lately. Okay, anyway, continuing on, I'm going to skim across. There's a guy right there. Boom, I can get him. So then we're going to go, and we're going to edit, and boom, level up. So we're just going to remove the short area of clip right here. There we go. Perfect. Everything's great. Everything looks good. So, perfect. We're great. We're good. Stream's good. All right, here we go. So we're gonna continue on here. We're gonna skim across once again, looking for anything. Oh, there's a melee. So we move back, and it's really easy. By the way, for anyone wondering how I'm moving across the timeline, like I said, I press B for the blade, then I just move my mouse or my trackpad all gently across the timeline and see if I can find any clips, and boom, there we go. So just like that, we can just delete that. And by the way, I just click on a clip and press delete. There's no like certain keyboard shortcut to delete a clip. You could just right click and like go delete, but just pressing delete on your keyboard is a lot easier to do, so I just do that. And it doesn't ruin anything in your project anyway. So anyway, here we go. So we're at 5 minutes into this clip. This actual clip, not into the video. The video we're only at about almost 2 minutes. So anyway, continue on. Oh, look, there's something over here. Oh, nothing. Never mind. So we're going to continue to skip ahead. Oh, I died right there. So we're going to have to do... Oh, once again, I keep pressing that button. All right, there we go. Died. I think it's V, right? Is it V? Oh, yeah, it's V. For anyone wondering what that black, like I said, just gets rid of the clip without actually getting rid of it. So, like, if I die right here, I press V. So you have this clip where I melee someone, and then it just completely skips through that, and it goes to black, and then it continues on. So that's if you want just a black area, skip the entire clip. I don't do that because it's a waste of time. So, and I could just check how it looks like without having to do that. So, yeah, I don't do that. That's just not my stuff. All right. Anyway, continuing on. Some people might find that very useful. I don't personally find it very useful. All right. Here's a clip where I kill someone. Boom. There we go. Level up. Got it. We're good. Everything's great, right? Okay, continuing on. Oh, and I die right there. So we're going to go right here, back, and forward, and cut, and remove that, and there we go. So now we got to the area where I die, and we're good with that. So we can now continue on editing this clip. Here we go. Like I said, skim across, take a look how everything looks. If it looks good or if it looks terrible. Oh, there we go. Right there I died. So we're going to go and right when I die, cut that right there. And we're good. We got another clip in right there. So now we shall continue looking through this clip and looking. Oh, there we go. So I'm going to go right over here. See a guy right there. Boom, and boom, and then I die. So we're just going to go at that. Okay, so here comes another voiceover, so I'm going to have to mute the mic once again. I'll see you guys when we continue with that, when I continue showing you guys more stuff. Here we go. Okay, so I'm gonna have to relaunch Final Cut Pro. As you probably saw, it turned black there. And usually, for problems I don't know what's going on, I usually just restart Final Cut Pro, and everything's great. Of course, some issues don't fix with a restart, but I hope this will, because I don't think it's normal to have everything gray and one clip blue like it's supposed to be. And okay, it seems like I think it's good now. Let me just move on back to it. There we go. So I hope you guys can see it. Right? I think I'm good. I think we are good, right? Oh, yep, there we go. Okay, so we're good. I'm going to continue on. So I recorded that voiceover. Everything's great. We got the voiceover in, and we got the voiceover done. Everything's great. And now we can continue on editing. So we're going to move across the timeline, continue to looking at some clips and looking. So another cool thing about Final Cut Pro is you probably saw me when I was working on, getting this all the way to the end. You probably saw that I zoomed into the timeline like this, which this is just one frame right here. You see this? This is just one frame. How long one frame is. For one frame is very, very fast in real time, but this is just super zoomed in to the point where just one frame is just super, super quick. If you're wondering how to do that, I just press Command plus or Command minus if you wanna. So zoom in is plus, is Command plus. Get out, zoom away is Command minus. Anyway, continue on that. We got that over with. We can continue on editing. So over here, as you can see, we skim across the timeline. We can't see anything we have issues with. Oh, there we go. So that happened. So we're just going to go over here. And I died. So we're just going to go like that. Boom. All right. So we're almost done. We have like about a few more clips probably left in this match before we have to end it off. The stream included, by the way. All right, here we go. So we're going to zoom across, continuing to look at everything. Perfect, right? Everything's great. Oh. All right, and there's nothing going on. So nothing still. So we're going to keep going across. You're going to keep going across. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. And oh, I died right there. So boom. And when I die, and cut and erase all that. By the way, if you're wondering what I do if I get out of the boundaries of the timeline, I just go over here and move the little bar across so that I don't have to keep, trying to all the way over there. All right, continuing on. We're going to zoom over here and continue looking. Oh, there we go. Look at that. So we're going to move back. Do I kill this guy? I think I do. Let's see. All right, so that takes a bit. Oh, but I knife him. So we're going to move on back. Go a little bit forward to when I kill him. And cut that right there. Okay, we're good. So now we can continue moving across the timeline. And we're almost actually done with this clip. So I'm just going to skim across a little bit faster, see if there's any important moments that I may or may not miss, and I think we're good. So there we go. Oh, my Apple Watch just beeped. I'm very sorry about that. Oh, there we go. So we're just going to get that clip in, and there we go. Kill the guy right there. So usually during videos when I'm playing games and voiceovering at the same exact time, you'll hear my Apple Watch go off. There's not much I could silence my Apple Watch, but I usually don't, just in case there's something very important that comes out to me. But when I'm doing something like this, where I have pre-recorded clips that I'm voiceovering over, I would usually just completely redo recordings that includes noise that I don't want. So for a clip like this, for example, I re-recorded it because it kind of went off the boundaries like I didn't really want it. So I just recorded that, as you probably saw earlier. So there we go. I got second place. But who cares about that? What I like to do afterwards is, this is a nice part where I show you guys a little bit more capabilities of Final Cut Pro. Over here we have a nice leaderboard, right? So we're going to go over there, crop that out to show you guys the leaderboard. Except this time around, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the nice magic of transform. And I talked about this earlier on in the stream, but this is where it actually comes in handy. So I press the little box right here, and this allows me to move around the clip, so change up the position, so that if the actual leaderboard ever switches around, in this case I don't, because this is only like one team, like it's free for all basically. If there's something like team deathmatch where there's 2 teams, I want to move it towards the side where my team is, so I would use the position. But in this case I don't need this. I just had to zoom on in, and there we go. So now we can see it, right? Okay, everything's great. So at this point on, I'll record, my kills, my rank, and stuff like that. So of course, I'm going to have to mute the mic again so I could record the voiceover for this. And here we go. I'll be right back. I'll just mute this for a second. Once again, you'll see me doing all of this stuff and stuff like that. All right, let's continue on. See you guys afterwards. Okay, so there we go. There's the end of the clip, and then there's the end of that, right? So now what am I going to do? Well, at this point on, what we'd have to do is we'd have to add in an animation, a transition on animation. There's in some programs they're called animations, and most of them are called transitions. I've seen sometimes they're called animations. But my favorite one is the fade to color. I also actually looked through these. My second favorite is flow. I really like it. Gaussian also looks pretty good. But if you're wondering how flow looks like, it's basically, it converts a nice, like, here we go. Here's a nice flow. And that's what I like. But I most of the time use fade to color, which by default is set to fade to black, and then on to the next clip. So it goes like this. There we go. I usually use that for editing of clips. I also use it for transitioning from one clip to another. So at this point on, what I would do is I'd go ahead and I'd open up Finder and I'd head into my hard drive. So let me show you guys that window capture here. We're gonna move this up and I'm gonna show you guys my Finder here. So let me just press a little settings. Where is it? There it is. Okay. So here it is. This is my Finder window. You guys, I'm just going to block Final Cut Pro for a second here. I'm just going to block it so you guys could see that. So there's my Finder window. And so here it is. So this is called PS4 HD. This is the hard drive that plugged in pretty much at all times. For any console related videos I record, I use an external hard drive because my Mac does not have a lot of space, or at least enough to hold like a lot of clips, especially when it comes to PS4. Nintendo Switch maybe, but usually I just rely on an external hard drive. The reason why it's called PS4 HDD is because this is the original hard drive that was inside my PlayStation 4 before I swapped it out for 1 terabyte. So as you can see, I have 3 folders. One was exported. If there's ever not enough space on my Mac to export a completely edited video, I'd export them right here into this folder. Over here, we have all my files. Here's actually the project file. This is the project file where I'm editing this video right now. All of my console related ones automatically are put right over here onto this hard drive for any console videos. The project always goes right over here. Sorry, I just got a text message. So over here is raw, and this is the most important folder. It's where all of my game capture recordings are stored. So if we head on to the Game Capture HD, you'll see the part 1, the segment and stuff like that. And popping over here, you'll see all of the clips I have for this specific episode. As you can see, I have 5 clips. This is all one match, part 3. I'd like to label them which part per episode. This is episode 10, part 1, which is what we just edited during the stream. Then we have part 2. And then we have part 3, and part 3, part 2. And then we have part 4. And then, of course, we have all of the rest and stuff. So there we go. We have all of the clips right there I used to edit. So that's the Finder window. Let me just get rid of that. Once again here, I'm going to move that down. There we go. So I'm going to just shorten that out. Okay, you'll see that. I'm going to actually remove that so you guys don't have to see that. But it's there if you ever want to see it. All right. Let me just remove that. Okay, there we go. So what I would do at this point is here. Let me actually bring up the Finder window again. It was window capture. Sorry, I'm just gonna bring up the window capture once again. The Finder capture. Where is it? Where's my Finder? There it is. There he is. Once again, I'm gonna load up PS4 HDD. And where is Finder? Hold on, I'm gonna have to add a new one here. All right, window capture. All right. So here we go. I'm gonna just add this Finder window back in. Sorry, and there's the text I'm getting, so I'm gonna actually silence this for now. All right, here we go. There we go. Pop in Finder. Let me just open up the window. So actually, what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna pop in this into my project. So I'll keep the Finder window up right here so you guys can see, but at the same time I'll have this portion of my Final Cut Pro project so you guys can also see that. So right now what I would usually do is I would open up my RAW and I would head on to part 2 and I just drag that onto my timeline and just place it in there. And at this point, now I'd instantly start recording the next clip. So then I'd once again do the same thing, skimming the entire timeline, basically repeating what I showed you guys earlier on in the stream with part 1. So let me just close this window once again and of course remove it because you guys don't have to see the Finder window anymore. Let me just remove that. So there we go. So that's the entire thing. That's basically all there is into editing these episodes for you guys. I hope you guys can appreciate them as much as I appreciate editing them, and I appreciate all your guys' support for these episodes. You guys are the reason why I continue to edit these and why I continue making these and recording these and spending time and energy and blood, sweat, and tears on these. So that's basically how I edit. If you guys want to know a little bit of how I edit and how my process goes and how everything goes and, you know, how it all works, kind of like a behind the scenes. I know not a lot of YouTubers like to show kind of how things work, but showing you guys kind of how my process works to maybe help you guys understand a little bit better, kind of why I have this certain schedule, why these videos are very important to me, and other stuff like that. Thank you everyone so much for watching the stream. I'm going to go continuing this episode without having to talk the entire time about what I'm doing. I'm going to just go talk to myself very insecurely like I always am. So thank you everyone so much for watching the stream. I am Rekiso102 as always. Now see you guys on my next videos Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, like always, every single week. And just like always, if you guys want more streams maybe like this or maybe me just playing some games, be sure to let me know. I would love to do more stuff like that. It would be very, very fun to do. Thank you everyone so much for watching. Once again, thank you so much for watching the stream. Goodbye.